Yes, hello traders. This is Ghost Trader, aka Tank from the Matrix, coming at you again with another market breakdown for today, which is Tuesday, August the 30th. So yes, it's still a little early today. It's 7:11 now on Pacific time here on the West Coast. So 10 a.m. About 11 a.m. Eastern time. The market's been open for about 30 or 40 minutes now. To be honest with you, I have to run some errands. I have to leave a little early this morning, so I wanted to record the video earlier. But however, um, I already have enough information, all the information that I need, within the first 30 or 40 minutes of the market action to already determine and see that, in my humble opinion, I don't believe this will be a premium session today. I don't believe there will be great price action today. And basically, I already have enough information to see that I have no need to make any trades today. I actually didn't make any trades yesterday either for a similar reason. And I'll explain to you guys why right now. But yes, so looking at the SPY, as you can see, I mean, there's some just at the big picture. This is the SPY daily chart. Looking at the big picture, we have some support obviously down here at 365 area, 364 area, and it bounced off there back in June. We've let's back it up a little bit more to the year. We've been in this downtrend trajectory for a while now, and we had this kind of trend line here for the downtrend that it was respecting for about 2 months, 3 months. And we did break out of that downward trend line trajectory in mid-July, about July the 18th. And we've been coming out of that, getting a little bit more bullish, bouncing off this, kind of support level. We have some pretty solid support down here at, like I said, 370, 365 area. And we've been bouncing off of that. However, we made a high up here at 430, and then we did run into some resistance up here in the more medium to short term. So zooming back into the 1 month view, as you can see, once we hit that, and actually this is a moving average, right? What is this? This is actually this would be the 200-day simple moving average, the 200-day simple moving average, which is a very, very important and strong moving average, especially on the daily chart. As you can see, it bounced off it exactly, because the 200 moving average is one of the most important moving averages. That's why I have them on these charts. But anyway, this video is not going to be about the moving averages, but just a big picture on SPY. It did bounce off resistance, a supply zone around 430, and it's been coming down ever since. My last video was on last Friday. We had a huge sell-off day, a huge premium session, offering a huge trades to the short side and all the beta names, due to the Fed speech on Friday. Last Thursday was also a pretty good premium session. I had an amazing trade here on Meta, on Meta call options. I made about 20% gain in less than 15 minutes on my position. It was a great trade. So when these 2 days, to me, looking back on it, and as you can see, the price action kind of reflects it. Thursday and Friday of last week were the best 2 premium sessions of the week. They offered the best opportunities to trade. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, they were okay. I mean, Wednesday was very slow. We didn't have anything. Monday and Tuesday, I call them like semi-premium sessions. There was 1 or 2 names that made a move, but there wasn't anything across the board. There wasn't any overall market push to really get the momentum going. It was 1 or 2 names that offered a little bit of good trades, but nothing much. In that case, I call that a semi-premium session. If you're really good at sniping out those names and that you want to take that risk, you can. But in general, overall across the board, you're going to kind of be maybe treading water a little bit, kind of fighting some slow price action. In general, at least the way I trade, my philosophy, and that's one of the things I want to explain on an ongoing basis, and I honestly remind myself as well. There are certain days in the market that are premium sessions. Not every day, believe me, not every day, but it's usually at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, sometimes more, depending on the overall market conditions. But on those premium sessions, it's when the greatest moves happen. Like one of my old trading coaches, Dan Shapiro, who's a great coach, Access A Trader, he used to say, when the big boys, when these big money boys really start running the market, when they really start turning these algorithms on, it won't be no mystery. They'll light it up like a Christmas tree. You hear me? Like NVDA will go, AMD, Tesla, all the names will just bam, they'll go like what happened on Friday. Everything went on Friday. Man, that was a premium session. Now, yesterday, no, it wasn't like, and that's the other thing. Another thing that I learned from my trading coach, I've had about 3 trading coaches over the years, but Dan Shapiro, he's the one where I mainly learned my strategy on the beta names from. He has 20 years experience, I'm not going to talk too much about the man, but I vouch for him. Great trading coach, great mentor, and very wealthy man who's been trading successfully for many years. Um, Another thing that he taught me about these beta names, these sessions are, he's like, you have to realize the market it's not a mechanical structure. It's not like a robot. It's not like a computer program. Of course, it involves computers. Of course, I understand about 70% of or more, they say, of the trading now is done by algorithm trading, high frequency trading. I get that. But there's still people behind that. There's still people behind that. There's not some all-powerful AI that's making the overall decisions of how to move this market. There's people moving this market. There's market makers, hedge funds, large banks, financial institutions. They're the ones that are moving this market. The big money, and they're emotional. These folks most of them are rich people. They go to to the Hamptons on the weekends. They take 3-day weekends. So the market is an organic beast. You know what I'm saying? And so in that, you can't look at the market like a math equation. It's not. It's an art and a science. So basically, with that being said, once for the market to have a drastic sell-off like this, or a drastic move to the long side, when we have these premium session days like we had on Friday, a little bit like on Thursday, that takes a lot of energy to make the market move like that. A lot of financial energy, a lot of emotion, just a lot of energy to put hundreds of millions or billions of dollars into the market to sell, either to sell that much off or put that in to make the market move like that. When the market collectively exerts that type of energy, after that it needs to rest. Okay, it needs to rest. You can't expect the next day for that shit to happen again, because it won't. And if you take the same bets the next day that you did on a premium session, you will lose and you'll give all your money back. Honestly, after a huge premium session like this, the best thing to do the next day is to not even turn your trading computer on the next day. If there are good moves after the next day, fine, God bless. But the percentages are not in your favor. You're not holding aces in the pocket. The odds are not in your favor putting your money after a premium session, expecting it to happen again. Look, the SPY just sold off $20 today. You said to sell off $20 the very next day? No, it's not. Like, good luck with that. Unless we go into World War III. So anyway, I'm getting a little bit worked up. But so basically, after last Thursday and Friday were both real good premium, especially Friday was a real good premium session. I came into this week already expecting that, dude, Monday is probably not going to be a premium session. It's probably going to be pretty slow. Tuesday is probably going to be pretty slow. Now, I'm still here for it. I'm at least here giving it a shot, looking. I'm at least checking on it. I'm not just going to sleep in and not even trade at all. But I'm trading with the mentality of, I'm probably not going to take any trades today. Any trades that I take will probably be losses. The moves will probably be fake out moves because it's not a premium session, okay? But I don't want to get too overly biased on that mentality. So basically, I'll explain to y'all how I approach the day and why. To be honest with you, today I was up at 6:30. Well, I was up around 6 a.m. I was trading at 6:30, but by 6:40 or 6:45, I already knew it wasn't a premium session. I can tell within the first 10 or 15 minutes of the day. Within the first 10 minutes after the market, 15 minutes after the market opens, I can tell is this a premium session or not. And I mean, sometimes I'm wrong. I'm wrong about 20% of the time. I'm right about 80% of the time, just like I was today and yesterday. So let me explain to you guys why. So this is the SPY daily chart. We can see it's testing 400 right now. It'll probably lose 400 today, honestly. But like I said, the real support on this thing is not. It's not down. The real support is not down here till 360. So it could still all the way back down to 360. I don't know. There's a little bit of support here at 390 area. But I'm not really worried. To be honest with you, I'm not really worried about that. But that's the overall big picture of SPY. So if you want to look at the SPY now, what it did today. So let me look at yesterday. Since I didn't make a video yesterday, so SPY opened up yesterday, and it pretty much just chopped around all day. This is not a premium session of SPY. And then if you want to look at the Qs are the same way. The Qs are very similar to SPY. I use SPY. If you want, you can use the Qs. Like I mentioned, Dan Shapiro. He actually doesn't even really use SPY. He only uses the Qs. Because for what he mainly only trades Tesla. He pretty much makes all his money trading Tesla. He's a beast. But yeah, like for what he does, the Qs are a closer indicator to what he does. I use SPY. I've always used it. I'm more comfortable with it. It's almost the same. Like, as you can see, this is the Qs, right? This is SPY. Almost the exact same. Very similar in action. But anyway, so yesterday on SPY, basically it traded in a range. It traded between about 400 and about 405, a $5 range. And that's just, and it had it really most of it was like in a $2 or $3. Most of the day it was between like 402 and like 404. I don't know, but it's like a $3 to $5 range. This is not a huge range. You see what I'm saying? This is really like, we call it an inside day or a non-premium session. And on the additionally, look at the volume. I mentioned to you guys this volume line right here. It's about 300,000 shares traded per minute. If the SPY gets over this volume line consistently, that's when we're having good action in the market, premium session, real good moves in the market. If the volume is falling below this line, and this is this is not like a hard and fast rule. This is my line. This is something that I use for myself. But I know that the volume is falling below this line. You're probably not going to get any great moves. It's probably not going to be a premium. So we usually have a volume spike in the beginning, the first few minutes of the day, and then it dies down quickly. That's what normally will happen on an average slow day, and that's exactly what happened today, right? I'm not going to go over any individual names from yesterday. There was really no premium. There was really not too many pivots that were even cracked, and all the names were slow. It was just a slow, low volume day. To be honest with you, it's still summer, into the summer. Like I said, like I mentioned, a lot of these big money dudes, they're in Miami, they're in Cabo, they're in the Hamptons, they're in San Tropez. You feel me? They might have taken a 3-day weekend. I wouldn't be surprised if half the dudes weren't even in the office on Monday. That's me. So that was for Monday. That was yesterday. So for today, the volume profile is a little similar. We do have a little bit of volume spikes coming in here and there. It's because we had some consumer numbers come out. We had the consumer confidence levels come out. I guess they were a little bit below estimate, and the job opening levels. So yeah, we had a little bit of economic data come out. That's what brought a little bit of volume into the market, but that's not huge news. I mean, that's pretty a routine thing. It's not going to be a huge market moving thing. Other than that, as you can see, the day is very slow. The volume cracked, as you can see, it cracked the first minute and it instantly died very, very quickly. This is the first, when the market opened, the first thing I saw is that the volume died very, very quickly. That was my first indication that it's probably not going to be a premium session. Okay. So I'm looking at the SPY and I'm waiting. I'm giving it a shot, but it's probably not a premium session. So basically, that just it gapped up a little bit overall. It closed at around 403 area. It gapped up to 406. There probably was some data released pre-market. And then it came down for the open to pretty much open up right around 403 again. So it didn't really gap. The pre-market action was kind of just a wash. And yeah, opened up around 403, 404. And it's been selling. Yes, it's been selling today, but this is not premium selling. This is not a drastic sell-off. This is, it's selling off $3. Start off for it, and now it's barely cracking for it. It's a $3 move on low volume, on a low volume, okay? And it's still losing volume, all right? So that was the first indication to me that it was not a premium session. Now I'm looking at individual names, right? Some of the individual names that I was watching today, I was watching Shopify right here. I was watching NVDA. I was watching AMD, and I was watching as well as GME. I was watching GameStop. Why? Because as you can see, these blue lines are pivot levels that they're testing. I'm going to be watching the names that have a potential to break the pivot levels. So I did not choose to trade any of these. Okay, as you can see, they're selling. They are selling. They're kind of chopping around the pivot level and selling. I didn't choose to trade any of these. The one that I was closest to trading was AMD. I was closest to trading this AMD. All right, I was very close to trading it. Right about here, I was going to go short. I had the put options racked up. Oh, no, sorry, right about here actually. I had the put options racked up in on my screen, but I chose not to trade it. I chose to not pull the trigger on that, and I'm glad I didn't. Honestly, yes, it would have worked out later on, but I would have stopped out. Like, to me, this is the level of risk. If I'm gonna get short below a pivot level, right? I'm gonna wait till it makes a new low, and then bounces, and then cracks that low for a second time, which is the second entry. That's the trigger to get in right there. I know some people see that volume bar. That's the people getting in on the second entry right there. And those are the people that probably got stuffed. A lot of them stopped out right here. I wouldn't have gotten in right here because for a few reasons. Because it had moving average resistance underneath it, moving average support underneath it, and Bollinger Band underneath it on the hourly chart as well as the daily chart. And plus the overall name was oversold. So in that case, it's not a good idea to slam the second entry in my opinion. It'll probably pull back just like it does. Even if the move still works, it'll probably pull back. However, once it cracks above the initial pivot level like this is my stop. This is my risk. I'm not going to. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to crack second entry, and then if I was waiting for it to bounce, to me, this is an entry right here. This is an entry. You can get in. Once it got back up to 88.14, 88.20 area, you could get in risking 10 cents. 88.20 risking only till 88.30, and you stop out right there. If I took this trade, that's what I would have done. With the pivot levels, if they work, then as you can see, the ones that work. For instance, on Friday, we saw some on Friday that worked great. They'll never crack this line again. Like if it worked, it would have gone here, and probably kept selling. It would never have cracked this line again. Like, yes, it sold. It ended up selling off. But like I said, not a great move. I believe this was due to the consumer data that was released. If that data wasn't released, it probably wouldn't even have done this. Probably would have just chopped around in a range similar to what GameStop is doing. See, similar to what Shopify is doing. This is not, like I said, and AMD is the best move of the day. That's why I was watching it. That's why I had it keyed in as my #1 watch of the day. But this is still not a premium session. Like that's what people have to understand. Just because it worked, just because it ended up working, doesn't mean it was a good trade. Doesn't mean it was a premium trade. Yes, it ended up working, but it could easily have not have worked. Actually, the odds were that it probably would not have worked. Just like Shopify did not work. Just like NVDA, kind of like this chop, you would have stopped out chopped a few times here. Just like GME did not work. So basically on AMD, as you can see, I was watching it to crack the pivot level. So, but I did not take this trade, and so I have a couple notes to explain to you guys why. Let's just go over them. I had some notes for this video. So first, so overall, let me go over that too before I get into the specifics on AMD. This is some of the indications that how I told you guys, I knew in the first 10 or 15 minutes of the day that this probably was not going to be a premium session, and I probably had no interest in putting my money into this market. How did I know that? I explained to you guys the volume. Like I said, the volume profile died very, very fast, very soon after the first minute, below my threshold level. And actually, it's one thing if it's close to it, but this thing it's not even half. Like I need volume to be like 300,000. It's running 100,000, 120,000, like not even half, bro. Like in the first 5 minutes of the day, it's the 4th minute of the day, and SPY can barely hit 100,000 shares traded. If you guys think that's a premium session, you guys think that's a big day in the markets, bro, you should probably keep your day job. Dude, like that's not a high volume. That's a low volume. That's a joke volume. I'm cool. Like I'm not putting my money into that market. That's the first indication I had that it was probably not a premium session. The low volume on SPY. I saw some names diverging, the beta names diverging in price action. Like in the first minute today, AMD went down, right? But SQ, if you look at SQ was going up. Like SQ is going long, AMD is going short. Like Tesla's going short. I saw divergence across the board on some of these beta names. That's the indication. If the beta names are going in different directions and like half time not even following SPY, like that's an indication that it's not premium price action. That's another indication I had. The beta names diverging in the first few minutes of the day. The volume died quick, like I said, within the first 3 minutes of the day. I already explained that. And then no pivots cracked within the first 10, 15 minutes. Like I said, I was waiting for the Shopify to crack. I was waiting for the AMD to crack, but it didn't. The first 10, 15, it cracked like after the first 15 minutes. But at that point, like I said, after the first 15 minutes, volume on SPY is already like it's below 100,000. I'm like, dude, we're running 90, 70, 90,000, not even 100,000 on SPY. Like, is this the S&P 500 or is this some random stock? Like this is extremely low volume for the SPY. So by the time it cracked here, I mean, I looked at it. I was like, okay, it cracked. It might be time. This might be the time on AMD. Like I said, I had the put options racked up right here. These are the put options right here. I had it racked up. I had three. I said I was going to buy 3 or 5 contracts of the puts, but I chose not to. And of course, it's probably going to work now. But like I said, look, more data probably came out. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, these spikes are probably just more due to the consumer data that's coming out. But like I said, this is not premium action. So on AMD, right? The reason why I didn't take it, once it cracked the pivot, I was looking to get in right here with with 10 or 15 cents of risking off this, okay? But the reason why I didn't take it, AMD was the first beta name to crack, and at that time it seemed like that was the only name that was going to crack. It was low volume on SPY. It was below my threshold, so that's the first thing. I already mentioned that. Other individual names were doing fake out moves across the board. So there were some other names like GME, some other names. They weren't really cracking the pivots, but they were doing fake out moves. You see what I'm saying? Like this, right here. No, that's letter U. Sorry. Like GME, like this. It did like bam. It did a little fake out move. You see that? Like bam. It cracked, tested the pivot, but huge fake out move. See what I'm saying? Like it's just not just being just choppy action across the board. That's another indication I had. Another thing. So on AMD. The reason why it made it not into such a clean setup is because of these. So if you look at the hourly chart, right? This Bollinger Band was in the way of the setup right here. This Bollinger Band right here. It's a Bollinger Band. It had to crack this Bollinger Band before it made this move down, okay? Not only that, but it also had another one on the daily chart too. So we had two Bollinger Band supply zones or demand zones, levels of support under it. That made it not into a clean chart. A moving average is what I made it not into a clean chart. So that's why I chose not to take AMD today. So I like I said, oh yeah, and the last thing, this might be the most important thing. This thing is already oversold on the daily chart, bro. This thing is already oversold, okay? Look at this. On Friday, it was at 97. It sold from 97 down to 90. Then yesterday, it goes from 90 down to 88. It's oversold. It probably needs a bounce day. You really believe it's gonna sell from 88 down to 85? It might, but that's not a good bet. Like you want to be shorting it like closer to up here. You want to be shorting it closer up. You don't want to be shorting it down here. It's oversold already. You know what I'm saying? Like you can short any name at any time, but if it's already down $15, $20 in the last 2.5 days, you don't want to be shorting it. It's oversold already. All right. That's another reason why I even if I got in, I wasn't going to slam the second entry. I was going to wait for a retrace and try to get in with a little risk, but I didn't even end up getting it at all because look, my philosophy that I've been using the past few months in this slow market is like, I'm not trying to prostitute my money. I'm only trying to put my bets into the market on premium sessions. I don't want to force trades and fight with the slow market action. There's no point. That's the philosophy that I found to work for me lately, and I'm sticking to that. Like if there's only one premium session a week, right? And I only take one bet only on that day, that's great. That's perfect for me. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the best bet of the week. And in like all likelihood, it's probably going to be a winning bet. And if you bet big enough, that you'll have a huge week. Taking all these other smaller bets that are not as good at, B plus C setup, there's no point. It's like my coach, that's like prostituting your money. There's no point. You only bet when you have the aces in the pocket, the aces in the hole. Only bet when you have that full, that real, when the odds are in your favor, when you have that good hand. GME, I didn't even have any borrows anyway. It was untradeable. This is just a note I have for the video. But in general, yes. So as you can see, it did work. Some people might think that, I missed the move or something like that. I don't believe this is not a move that I would have missed. Because even if I got in on AMD, right, I would have stopped out. Right? And in general, it's not after you stop out of these trades, it's not really a good idea to get back in. Once it starts cracking back above the pivot like this, most of the time it won't work. Most of the time it'll either keep going to the long side or just chop around and trade in a range. This time it did end up working, but that's, like I said, it's God bless. Like my coach says, like, if it's gonna work, God bless. I'm not gonna chase it down here. God bless. I don't need it. I have zero FOMO against. I have zero fear of missing out on this. It's because it wasn't a premium setup. Like I said, I believe the only reason this even did work is because of the CPI data, or this consumer confidence data that came out at around 10 a.m. That was obviously negative and started pushing SPY down. If that didn't come out, it would probably just chopped around and probably just chopped around in the range. So anyways, yes, so that's AMD. On Shop, look, I mean, I was also watching Shopify too. Similar action. These are all similar action. Like, it cracks the pivot, and then it keeps chopping around. Like I said, today is choppy, full of nothing but fake outs. Even Shopify, this was a fake out. It cracked. The second can get in here or get in here, you would have stopped out. If you hold through action like this, you're not going to be profitable, in my opinion. So how long would you hold? Would you hold all the way to VWAP? You're going to hold the inside. You're going to lose your whole account when this thing starts smacking up to $40. No, you stop out. This is not a good setup. Any good trader, I believe, would have stopped out. At least trading the way I trade, you would have stopped out. And that's the same thing that happened on AMD. On NVIDIA, this isn't even really a daily pivot. It's just a sneaky pivot. So as you can see, once the market is going short, we're in an overall bearish market right now. It's no surprise that it's going short, but it's not on any type of. I mean, it's a little decent volume because, like I said, there's some consumer data coming out. But overall, across the board, it's choppy. I guess now looking back on it, now that I'm looking at this, I would probably call this. Maybe you could call this a semi-premium session, just because of the fact that we do have some premium to the short side on a lot of these names. However, like I said, this is definitely not a great premium session because of the choppy action, just a choppy action. And like I said, if someone traded this action and was profitable on it, God bless them. That's good for them. But for me, this is not any action that I have any interest in trading. Similar to look at the letter U, crack the pivot, chopped around, like same thing. I don't want to get into repeating myself. But that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all the beta names that that I was watching today. So if you look at the earnings names, I'll go over the earnings name quickly, and that'll be that for this video. IQ. It's like I said, it's a small cap name, just chopping around. You had Best Buy on earnings, but again, choppy. I was looking at kind of maybe trading this, but I chose not to again. If I was going to trade this, what I would have done is I would have 5-minute opening range. 5-minute opening range. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 5-minute opening range. It cracked here. However, it just got choppy. I mean, it made a little move here, but like I said, this is choppy action. This is not any action I want to trade. That's for Best Buy. What I did notice is Playboy on earnings too, just sold up a little bit on pretty low volume. Not a great move. I noticed Baidu was actually had the best. Baidu had a decent move on earnings. Okay, it had a decent sell off. This actually was maybe the best move of the day. Baidu on earnings. However, I wasn't going to trade this. I wasn't even going to really watch this. I don't. Baidu is a beta name, and it's a Chinese name. I don't really tend to trade the beta names on earnings days, and just in general, the Chinese names they tend to get very kind of scammy action, choppy action. High spread you out. And given the overall conditions of the market today, I had no need in trading. Plus, I didn't even. This would have been my first trade of the week. I'm not going to put money into shorting Baidu into the earnings names first. I don't need to do that for the first trade of the week. I'm waiting for premium action. See, so yeah, with the earnings names, we had a little bit of movement in the earnings names. Like I said, what is this? This is another small cap Q2. Look at this Q2. The fake out. It goes down, then whoop, it goes right back up. Just choppy. So these are the earnings names. And go through a couple more. Peace, SEC, Earnhardt earnings. Oh yeah, big lots, choppy, low volume, choppy, just choppy, low volume. More small caps, cons, and just what I'm saying. There's nothing really to speak of in the earnings land. And just, yeah, like I said, and AMD was probably one of the greatest movers of the day. However, just to me, it was just a choppy setup. Well, look at Apple. I guess it's, like I said, I guess you could call this a semi-premium session, just from the fact that yes, we did get some selling action coming into the SPY. Like honestly, like right after I started this video, I started this video around 7:15, and right after I started. But it's all good. Like I said, even still, even Apple, like it never really retraced, never made a second entry like this. You can't. None of this action that I see is really tradable. To be honest with you, most of them don't have clean charts, and they're just very choppy, not making clean moves around these macro pivot levels. And there's overall low volume across the board. So, like I said, it did to me that when I see conditions like this, it's definitely not a premium session. If this little market data wasn't released, as consumer confidence, blah blah blah, we probably wouldn't even have had this selling. I believe that's what caused this little spike of volume, and I believe this will die. Like we had it come in, it died down very quickly. This will probably die down very quickly too, and just chop around for the rest of the day. So that's kind of my opinion on the day. Anything else I want to wrap up with? That's pretty much it for the day. Best of luck to everyone in the markets today, and I should be coming back with another market breakdown tomorrow, and try to give you guys one every day, going over the market action. Now that Monday and Tuesday were not really premium sessions, or semi not really premium, it's looking probably like Wednesday or Thursday is probably going to be, because there's usually at least one premium session of the week. It's looking like Wednesday or Thursday is probably going to be a premium session. The last 2 or 3 weeks, it's been Thursday. Obviously, last week it was Friday too, but that was just because of the Fed speech. So I'm going to be watching Wednesday and Thursday very closely, because now the market has had a chance to rest. It's rested a little bit now. If you look at SPY, yesterday it rested a lot. Today it's selling a little bit, but it's still kind of resting. Like it's not a huge. This day has nothing. It's nothing. Look, it's nothing like Friday. Much lower selling day. It's just kind of just a red day with low volume. Nothing like Friday. So I don't believe this. I don't believe this is going to keep selling all that. No, it's probably close to the low of the day right now. The low of the day is, if I had to guess, I'd probably say 94, 95. It's probably going to be the low of the day, if not even higher than that. So yeah, I believe the market's kind of resting now. It may rest again tomorrow, but once it has about 2, 3, or 4 days to rest, we will see another premium session. Like I said, either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday this week. And guess what? I will be here for it, ladies and gentlemen. I will be here for it. And I will commentate on it once it happens. So, okay, so appreciate your guys' time. Hope you enjoyed the video. And this is Ghost Trader signing off now. See you guys next time.